Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close for October 30th, the day before Halloween. Oh boy, we got another red day on the market. And we also got tech. We got tech happening this week. So last night, Google, right at the market bell, they released their earnings. And Google did, they exceeded expectations, both in EPS and revenue. And as a result, Google had a pretty good after hours. Well, we weren't live yesterday to watch that, but today we've got two after the bell. We have Microsoft and we have Meta, and we're going to check in on them for sure. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Lot of fun. Okay, new feature that YouTube is rolling out, and we've kind of already been doing it. So as you guys know, I usually will offer you guys a chance to earn an extra stream on when you do 4 supers. Well, they've actually rolled that out. If you guys look up above your thing, above the chat, you'll see this little target thing. Right now it says 1 of 5. I was playing with it. I wanted to test it. Now they don't give me full control. So basically, they let me create goals that you guys can hit within, of course, the chat, within the lives and all of that fun stuff. I was hoping they had a 4. That would have been really perfect. They didn't, but I kind of want to see what happens when it hits 5. So I did drop 1 super in just before the stream started, just to get it at the 1 out of 5. As long as that gets up to 5, we're going to do that. We're going to do that stream on Friday. So that will be November 1st. Holy banana bread. But that'll also be the end of the first week of tech. And we got to wait a little bit before, of course, we get NVIDIA. But I'll tell you, if we do well in Tech Week, it's really, really going to be great for NVIDIA. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Before we get anything else going, let's see here. All right. Let's actually... let's head over. Let's head over and take a look at the market. So as I mentioned, we do have a red day. We are still in the green, though, for the month. I know it's been a little bit of volatility, but if you look here, and this is since Thursday of last week, mostly the S&P is kind of in this small pattern. So they've been going a little up, a little down. So we're kind of moving forwards. But we're on the red segment of that today. So we do have a red market for that reason, not by much. We're only down 0.33%. The S&P, and of course you'll see here's that line down there. So I don't think, unless something drastically huge, unless we have a black swan event, we're probably not going to break that line. So we will have finished with a green month, sort of as we've been thinking about. All right. The S&P 500, a little more volatile. They're down 0.19%. NASDAQ down 0.56%. Although, if Meta and Microsoft manage to pull off some good numbers tonight after the close, that could almost guarantee a green day for the NASDAQ tomorrow. But we'll have to see. The Dow Jones down 0.13. Gold is up by 0.41. Silver down 1.83. WTI looking good, up 2.12%. Bitcoin. Oh boy, we gotta talk. I have been talking about Bitcoin all month, and I have been talking about the halving and where I needed to see Bitcoin hit. Well, I put that line. I love lines. This is the green line that I need Bitcoin to break. And I said break before the end of the month for me to maintain being bullish on it. Look at this candle right here, this red candle. I don't know if you guys can see on your screen or not, but it actually wicked. It wicked within $200 of that line. So I'll tell you, pretty interesting. Now, it has retracted from there. And I think we were so close to that, we got a bit of a sell-off. And now we're moving in this pattern. Now, the interesting thing with this pattern is, and let me just take another line here. if this one were to break to the upside, it will pretty much take us it'll push us a tiny bit above that line. So that's what I'm going to hope for. If it were to break to the downside, it would pretty much take us into our moving averages where there is going to be some support, and that's going to push us back up. So either way, I think it's looking good. I think I'm happy enough with us getting within 200 of this line to remain bullish in November. I do want to see what happens around the election, and I want to see what happens after the election. So these are definitely going to be some good things as we move forward. All right, good old Bitcoin. Let's head into our heat map. You can see we got a good amount of red. We got some green in here too, like Loblaws is doing pretty good, up 1.69. Alimentation Couche-Tard, they're up 1.01. We have Tourmaline is up 2.25%. So we got a little bit of green, but we do have a fair amount of red in there as well. Heading over to the United States, you can see Google still a high after last night. They're up 3.21%. Now, our two stars of the show are going to be Microsoft and Meta. Microsoft is up today, 0.61. So we're going to have to see how this all boils out. Oh my, this is going to be fun. And Meta is down 0.28. Could that mean that Microsoft will do better than Meta? It's hard to say. Meta has been surprising lately, and Meta is one of those tech companies that has shown how they're making money off of AI. So that could be big. It could be big, definitely. So we'll have to take a look. Another little surprise down here, AbbVie. Look at them, up 6.42%. That's not too shabby. All right, heading over to crypto. So Ethereum's up today, 1.04. Bitcoin down just a little bit. Solana is down 2.68. Dogecoin is down 4.44%. So it's predominantly a red day, so let's get rid of all of the red. And there's about 14,000 crypto coins out there. Most of them are little crap coins that I've never heard of. Here's one. Observer. Oh boy, this coin's watching me. This is an interesting chart. Look at this. It's up, and that's a lot of volatility. It's not even worth a penny though. I don't know what Observer does. I'm just going to assume it watches something. It watches something. I don't know. Once again, there are 14,000 crap coins out there. If you're going to get into crypto, stick with the coins that that you have faith in. Read the white paper. See what they do. Just stay away. Just stay away from some of these obscure crap coins, unless you got some play money and you're thinking, I just want to take a chance. I don't want to take a chance. I'm happy playing with Bitcoin and things like that. All right, I'm just going to pull these guys back. Holy banana bread. Let's go back to. We should go back to Big Me because. Yeah, we'll go back to Big Me. Let's do that. All right. All right. Market close. Bang. We're back to Big Me. All right. We're going to hit up the chat. See what we got going on. Vic is in the house. First in line. First chat. What an honor. Welcome to the stream, Vic. Always appreciate you. Jungle says flight and bed and breakfast are booked for Whitehorse. And I remember Jungle was saying that he was going to head up there and see the Northern Lights. Was it in January? I think it was January. I think. I could be wrong. Jungle says, I'm here. And October exceeded expectations. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a green. I mean, we've had a green September, a green October. So that's definitely been good on the portfolios. I set goals at the beginning of October for the channel. We have met every single goal. Every single goal has been met. So that's really, really, really cool. I'm happy about that. So that's not too shabby. All right. Bleak is in the house with a hey hey. And we got a Mary in here. So, guys, you got to hit that like button. Right now, I see 13 likes. So, I'm going to have a sip of coffee. And I'm hoping when I'm finished, I'm going to see 14. Let's say we'll get you guys one at a time if we have to. Oh, boy, that's so good. All right. Well, I don't see the 14 yet, but one of you guys will get in there. You guys will get in there. Paul is in the house with a good afternoon. Oh, there's the 14. There it is. And Paul says, even Bitcoin at 72K is good for myself. Oh, yeah, Paul. I mean, we've been watching what Paul's been doing over there on Discord. He's enjoying this pump in Bitcoin for sure. Absolutely. All right, Ricardo is in the house with a good afternoon. And we have Skiz in the house with a Crypto SMH. There we go. There we go. Ricardo says, well, I'm still holding the 530 shares of Groy. I'm holding this bag and literally only bag I have in my portfolio, waiting for earnings November 4th to determine if I use it as tax harvest or continue to ride. All right, all right. Definitely. Let me know. Let me know how this ends. Let me know how this ends, Ricardo. All right. Rocco. Rocco is in the house with a hello to all. We got about 4 minutes for the bell. I'm not going to miss it this time. Last one, I was late on that bell. Absolutely. But once the bell hits, guys, then the fun starts to happen. Then we start to see what's going to happen with Meta and Microsoft today. Ricardo says, I clicked for the 14th. Nice. Nice. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. I love it. All right. Paul says, played with NDA, so Neptune Digital Assets yesterday, bought 52.76 shares at $1.03 and sold at $1.08. That's not bad. That's $263.80 in profit. Today it is lower. Another Canadian SOL proxy. All right. Kevin Kaz is in the house with a good afternoon, gang. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So we got a couple of interesting things going on. So premiers are starting to give out gifts. So it's actually funny. The other day, Premier Houston of Nova Scotia went and lowered their HST by 1%. And I was saying to Jill, I was like, that sounds like he's preparing for an election. So at that point, his election wasn't going to be until, I believe, the spring. So he did then call a snap election almost not even a week after lowering the HST component. So the HST basically, I believe it was 15% in total in Nova Scotia between the GST and the provincial sales tax. That took it down to 14%, but that's what he did. Then he called an election, and his argument, I like this argument. He said, the reason he was calling a snap election is that he has a feeling that there is going to be an election in the spring with the federal, and he didn't want to have anything to do with it. He wanted to get his done and out of the way before that mess hall hits. I'm like, okay, that does make sense. But yeah, so that's interesting. Now, Ontario. Premier Doug Ford has just announced that everybody in Ontario who has submitted a tax return is going to get a check for $200 in the new year. Every single one. Does that not sound like he's getting ready to call an election? He hasn't yet, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if he does, because this is how you butter up the voters, right? You give him some cash. Now, considering his cash isn't coming until the beginning of the new year, probably means that there's no danger of him calling an election too soon. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see one coming up, maybe even in the spring. Oh gosh, the spring could be very, very interesting for sure. All right. And Paul has dropped in with a super chat for $1. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that now puts us one step closer to that goal, which will get us, of course, that Friday stream. So, and I know, it's actually, funny thing is with that, the goal thing, They go from 1 to 5. So I was like, I was looking at it. I'm like, come on, let me determine the number. Don't give me numbers like I have to pick. So I did do one. I dropped a small one myself just to begin the stream because that gets it to 1. Paul got us to 2. 3 more, we get a Friday stream. All of that fun stuff. And oh boy, it's time. Here we go. And the bell has tolled. I was on time. I love it. I love it. Like to the second. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. And Ricardo is saying market close. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now we're going to be looking at a pair of stocks here as we go a little bit forward. So let's just go over there. We're going to go over very quickly. Take a look where they finished. All right. Let me see here. All right, market close, screen share is 6. There we go. All right, so we'll get out of Bitcoin and we're going to head down here. We'll go to Microsoft first. So here we go. Microsoft closed at 433.50. Now, look at the post. They are a little bit on the low side right now. So right now we're at 429. So that's not good because I don't know yet what's happening with Microsoft. So we'll take a look. Let's take a look at Meta. Oh, look. Now, well, Microsoft was up for a moment. Over here in the Meta side, once again, they're down a tiny, tiny bit. But it's going to take a little bit for this all to pull through. All right. In the meantime, over here on the thing, over here in the chat, we got a super sticker coming in from Mary, and that's a super sticker for 139. Thinking Face is the one. So there we go. Thank you very much, Mary. Now, here's the funny thing. That little target thing doesn't work on super stickers. I'm still going to count it. I'm still counting it. We got 2 in. 2 more of any type of super, and we're good. But yeah, it just means that because it's a super sticker, we're probably not going to see what happens when we hit the target. But that's fine. That's fine. Ricardo says Microsoft tanking. Oh, are they really tanking? Let's go back to Microsoft. We're on Meta right now. Meta's slightly above. No. Look. Oh no, here's Microsoft. Microsoft's up here. So that's not bad. That's not too bad. Look at that. It's going up. It's going up. And we'll see once we get some data here. We've got no data yet for Microsoft. But what we do have is we do have the news here. Let me just pull that up here. Yeah, come on, Microsoft. Let's see here. I'm not seeing news. Metrics, add note. Where is their news? Their news is not coming up. I don't know why. Meta. All right. Let's see. Meta's starting to head up a little bit too. Like I said, we're going to definitely grab all of this as we go. All right. Skiz says, the bell tolls for my portfolio. Uh-oh, Skiz. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear you making money, not losing money. Let's see. Ricardo saying Microsoft reversal rocketing now. Yeah, right now we're on Meta. Let's head back over to Microsoft. Oh yeah, look, Microsoft's sitting up here in the post after hours trading 440 at this moment. So looking good for Microsoft. Now, here's that thing. If all of the tech companies do really well, then that's going to really, really help NVIDIA. Because that's what tanked NVIDIA last time. Like, NVIDIA beat expectations in their last earnings, but then they plummeted. Well, they plummeted a little. They didn't plummet a ton, but they fell enough. And a lot of that was because, people were concerned about the fact that all the other tech companies had been reporting, that weren't reporting any kind of profits from AI. Oh boy, look at this, Microsoft. You've almost left the screen. Yeah, Microsoft's doing good. How about Meta? Let's go back to Meta. We've never watched 2 at the same time before. Meta's Meta's not doing as well as Microsoft. So it's going to be interesting once we do get these numbers. I'm looking forward to them. Definitely looking forward to seeing what these numbers are going to look like. Um, I think it's going to be pretty good. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Booking also beat earnings. It's over 4K now. Of course, that's one that we're not looking at right now. Paul says MicroStrategy earnings. Is MicroStrategy's earnings today as well? Oh boy, I would like to see. Let's take. I know I have MicroStrategy here somewhere, but I'm just going to remove them and then put them at the bottom. Let's take a look because that could be very, very interesting as well. Let's remove them and add them. I do that because it then puts it right there at the bottom. Now MicroStrategy down 4.28, but what are they doing in the after hours? You're right. They do have earnings today. MicroStrategy is, well, they're down a little bit. They are down a little bit right now. So 239.30. I'm really surprised. I don't expect. Well, we'll have to wait to see what their earnings are. But I mean, Bitcoin has been doing so well, and they have been absolutely exploding on the charts. So let's see if that can recover. We will see if that can recover. But holy banana bread, holy, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But yeah, we'll do fine. All right. Let's see. Jonathan says, I just missed it. Oh no. I can't ring it again, but I can at least show it to you. There it is. There it is, Jonathan. Sorry. See, if you had just missed it the other day, I was late and you would have got it. Meta dying. All right, Kiev and Kaz in here with a super sticker. $2.99. A Shiba dog shaking its body from left to right, surrounded by red hearts. Very cool. It's funny. This new system, it doesn't actually show me the super sticker, but it describes it for me. So that way there I know what it is. So Kevin Kaz is definitely the goat. We've had a whole bunch of goats here. You know, we've had Paul, Mary, and Kevin Kaz. So it's like I've got a small stable coming up. We're one away, guys, from a Friday stream. And don't mind the countdown thing at the top. It only registers super chats. It doesn't, for whatever reason, it does not register super stickers. And this is a brand new feature from YouTube. In fact, they haven't rolled it out to everyone yet. I was one of the lucky ones that they rolled it out to early. So they do that every so often. So hopefully they give me the option for feedback, because I'll be like, come on, let's include everything. You know, super sticker, super chat. Let's get it all in there, because that's what I'd like to see. All right. Let's see. Hood is dying too. Oh boy. Come on, MicroStrategy. All right, let's go back over here to Meta. Yeah, look at this. Meta's dying. Meta's down here dying. But Microsoft, well, they're coming back down a little bit. That distance, you know, oh, I need to see some numbers. I'll see if we got anything here yet. Let's see. All right, so let's see. Microsoft's Intelligent Cloud Unit contributed 44% to the company's overall revenue. That's not bad. But yeah, we don't have anything else yet. I will get little things in here when we do get them. We'll see if we get anything at all on Meta. Let's pull this up. Nothing yet. And we'll also pull up MicroStrategy. Yeah, we're now watching 3. So let's see. MicroStrategy's market cap is 47.764 billion. Shares up 276.9% this year. That's crazy. And of course, they do hold 18 billion in Bitcoin. So what can we say with that? We will, of course, take our final look at the market here at about 4:15. But most of the fun, I think, is just seeing what is going on here in the after hours. Go back here to Microsoft again. They seem to be the only one who seems to be doing pretty darn good. So we'll have our numbers. I imagine we'll have numbers sooner than later. That'll be good. That will definitely be good. I'm loving this. I am absolutely loving this. Right. Let's see. Ricardo says money. Meta spent too much money again. If they start the cash burning machine again, we will see it go back down to $100. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, okay, never mind. I just saw Paul's comment here. Um, Paul saying the MicroStrategy earnings are at 5. Okay, so we may not get anything from them for a while yet. So we'll ignore MicroStrategy for now. Um, but yeah, the whole idea with Meta is Meta, when they do start this whole spending like crazy, it does plummet them. The best thing is that they always tend to recover on the other side of it, though. So that's something to keep in mind. So it might actually create, if Meta does a big spiral down again, holy banana bread, there might be an opportunity to get in at a nice price. But it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to go down the way they did last time. And let's just actually pull something up here. We'll go over here. We'll pull up. We're going to pull up Meta. Here we go. Meta platforms. All right. We're going to go back. We'll go back 3 years. Actually, let's go back 5 years. All right. So here we go. Now, here's their little. This is kind of funny here. So this is their little COVID thing. But then they went into the bull market. They did fantastic. But this was the big thing with Meta. This was that bear market that we have. Meta absolutely tanked. I mean, they went from $379 all the way down to like $96. But, and here's the funny thing. When they were down there, a lot of people weren't buying. They were like, oh no, Meta's over. Meta's done. Well, Meta was not done. Meta was preparing to go to the moon. And look at this. They've done fantastic. 592 compared to here. This is an absolute explosion compared to where they were at. So, that's not too shabby. Now, mind you, if they were to go down again, I mean, you're not gonna. I don't think you'll get back down to 97. I think if they had like any kind of a serious thing, you might maybe get down to 400. But I think right now they are making a lot of money off of their advertisements, and that's where their big revenue is coming from. They're using AI to basically cater the ads to their users. So if you're ever on Facebook and you notice that they're always showing you ads and things that you kind of are interested in, that's not by mistake. That's because AI is studying you and studying everything you do, everything you click on, every like, every comment you make, and it's figuring out what you like. And that's what you're being served up. So, it's one of those things. I mean, as a rule, I will not buy. Personally, I will not buy something I see in an ad on Facebook, even if I think it's a product I would love. I mean, if it was something I absolutely had to have, I would basically go probably over to Google and find my way to that website without clicking on the Facebook link to check it out. Maybe buy it that way, but I just will not click on an ad that's served to me that way, because if anything, it just sort of reaffirms, I guess, the whole system that they're using. All right. Meta says, Skiz says, what does Meta do? Adverts from Facebook and Instagram? I mean, the Quest didn't make much money. Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. Most of their revenue is from ads, 100%. So, it's funny. There's a crazy amount of people on Facebook. And then a lot of the people who aren't on Facebook are probably on Instagram in one way or another as well. So they've got a huge audience that they're serving up ads. And obviously they're working because they're making a lot of money from it. So got to keep that in mind. Ricardo says, once Meta Keeps burning cash on the cafe is what got them to go from 350 to 98. The recovery came from them saying they are putting that in the back burner. Yeah, yeah. The whole metaverse was kind of a misstep as well for them. I strongly believe in the metaverse, just not, I think, in the way it was served up by Meta back in the day. I think that we kind of need AI to develop a little bit more, because if you want to have an effective metaverse, you really need AI in there. Like, if I want to go and spend time in a metaverse, I want NPCs as smart as ChatGPT or smarter. That's what I want. I want it to be like another actual world. I don't want to have to, rely on finding other people in the metaverse. If I want to just go to my own little world in the metaverse, I should be able to. That's the way I look at the whole metaverse thing. All right, let's get back. Let's get back and see if we get any changes here. Microsoft is still a little bit on the upside. Do we have any more data here? No, nothing new yet on Microsoft. Now they are starting to come down a little bit. Meta. Where's Meta? I'm going down. Oh boy, Meta is crashing big time. They're down. Oh boy. Yep. Look at this. They're still falling. And I got nothing yet from them, but they are crashing. So obviously, I'm thinking Meta didn't meet expectations. This is not good. This is not good for tomorrow's market. Meta definitely. Now, if Microsoft manages to beat expectations, that might help temper it a little bit, but this is not the results that we wanted to see. If we wanted to have a green market tomorrow, this is not what we wanted to see. So this could be turning that market a bit red tomorrow. Well, at the very least, it could be hurting. It could be hurting the Nasdaq a little bit. Not good. Microsoft, you need to stay up there. You need to stay above. And even still, Microsoft's not doing great either, guys. So we have we got a whole bunch of stuff happening here. Oh boy. Ah, dear. All right. Let's see. Coin is dying as well. Oh boy, what an earnings season. Coin. Let's take a look. Here. Give me a second here. Coin. So what's that? That's Coinbase, I believe. Here we go. All right, and we'll just put them at the bottom as well. All right, let's see what's happening over here with Coinbase. All right, they were at 211 coming in. Look at this. All the way down here, 201. Oh, sorry, that's not the post market. Sorry, down here, this blue one, not that blue one. 196. Oh boy, that's a big drop. And this is crazy. You would almost think anything crypto related would be doing well right now, especially with what Bitcoin has been doing. But yeah, this is not good. It's they're way down. Oh boy. We'll look at MicroStrategy one more time. Why not? Let's see. Where are they? Are they way down here? Holy banana bread. Look at how far down they are. Right now, 247. They're way down here at 221. Well, it's not that far. You know what? I think with MicroStrategy, I got my bars pushed a little bit too far out. Because, that's more realistic. But still, they're down. They're absolutely down. What can I say? All right. Skiz says 100% metaverse, great idea, but implementation was awful. That's exactly what I'm saying, Skiz. We're on the same books here, on the same page. We need the AI to manage systems and rules and places there for us. Yeah, we really do. And that's the whole thing. If you have AI in there, you could really turn it into something really cool. But we need AI for that reason. Obviously, we probably need AI for a lot of other things as well. But Ricardo says the fact that Hood, Meta, Coin are dying is gonna mean a bloody market tomorrow. I'm thinking we're gonna have a We're gonna have a bloody Halloween. Oh, it's gonna be scary. Um, I'm glad. I'm actually kind of glad I'm not streaming tomorrow because I would have had to. I would have had to actually put a mask or something on for that. So, actually, funny thing is, I did do a stream 1 year. Actually, over on the Danter Banter. And I came as like the Great Pumpkin, so that was scary. That was scary. Let's see. Ricardo says, I believe the sugar daddy. There we go. I believe the sugar daddy of AI, Microsoft, may have a chance to keep the AI bubble alive. Yeah, I think the AI bubble is fine. Um, right now, there's just so much that there's so much uncertainty, and one of the big things I think that we're going to need to see in the tech companies, whether it be Microsoft, is we need to see these AI agents. These AI agents are going to be that's where we're going to start to see how these companies are going to start making money from AI, and that will reassure the investors. So, and we're getting really close. Like I mentioned on the weekend on the news show about what Anthropic is doing with Claude, where it can take control of your computer and do a bunch of stuff for you, whether it be going and signing you up for a flight or something or things like that. So this is going to be very, very interesting. All right. Ricardo says, oh, sorry. Chad says, great buying opportunity like blood in the streets. I wish it was 2021, 22 again. Would have bought more. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Barry's saying, let's do a market open tomorrow. Oh, as tempting as that is, I actually do have some commitments in the morning that I can't get out of. But gosh, it would have been fun to do a market open tomorrow. Let's see. Ricardo says one painful lesson I learned trading communities or commodities, not communities, is that if you're buying something related to the asset, you will be burned and won't move with the asset. So just buy the asset instead of the companies. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It depends. I mean, it depends. Like if you are playing, let's just say, if you're doing short-term trading on with a company that holds an asset, you can sometimes utilize the movement in the asset to predict what's going to happen. But when you're holding longer terms, sometimes that can be the case. But a lot of times too, depending on the company, if they have good fundamentals, they usually will bounce back. But right now, looking at a lot of these crypto coins, our crypto coins, these crypto related companies, like MicroStrategy is not an exchange or anything, but because they hold so much of it on their balance sheet, it's pretty much the same way. So now keep in mind with MicroStrategy, it's only 422, right? At 5 o'clock when they release their data, they could do well. They may do well. Meta, I don't think we have a chance for Meta. Meta right now is they're down pretty far. Oh, they have actually kind of. I'm going to shrink this up a little bit so we can see where they're at. Yeah, so they're down here right now at 575. So it's not looking good for Meta, and I don't have any data yet. But Meta, yeah, absolutely not. Microsoft, I'm going to pull these in a little bit for Microsoft as well, just to bring everything a little bit closer. Microsoft is still holding out. They're still holding out a little bit. Did we get anything new? No, we still have that last thing. There we go. Yeah, still nothing on that. But holy banana bread. Oh boy. All right. Chad says, keep in mind you have centralized and decentralized coin is ran by BlackRock now. Crypto was supposed to be decentralized. Yeah, initially that's what crypto was all about. But, and here's that big but, as you get more and more regulation in there, it's certainly going to kick at the spirit of decentralization somewhat. And I don't think there's any way that you can get around that. All right. Frank says, and I think Frank might be new. I don't recall seeing Frank before. But Frank says Robinhood went down as well. Um, I've never looked at Robinhood on here before, but let's see if we can find Robinhood here. Robinhood markets. Let's pull them up. Let's take a gander here at Robinhood. All right, here we go. And I'm going to pull this a little bit closer. I don't know how things got so far apart. Where is my... Oh, boy. Look at this. They're way down. So Robinhood has fallen from 28.22 down to 25.10. So, yeah. Yeah, it looks like the crypto markets are taking a big hit. Which is odd because, when we come back up here to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still... Oh, look at this. Let's pull this back. There we go. That's why things were so... Yeah, Bitcoin is still, threatening to break out. They almost broke out here. Like, they did breach it a little bit. But we're in a little bit of a holding pattern until we get a breakout of this pattern. And it's not going to be... the breakout probably will happen before tomorrow morning. So yeah, I imagine, I wouldn't be surprised sometime tonight we'll see a breakout, hopefully to the upside, but there's always the possibility it goes down and then runs off of the support on the moving averages. So that's a possibility as well. Paul says, sold the last of my iBit and bought MicroStrategy a few orders at a time as price dropped. Yeah, I think MicroStrategy is still going to do fine. They're if Bitcoin does have this breakout and breaks above this all-time high, no matter what happens in earnings calls, MicroStrategy has nowhere to go but up if that happens. Provided we get, now if we get the 100 to 120,000 towards the end of the year or early into 2025, just think about where MicroStrategy is going to be. It'll be, it'll be a good significant profit, I think, for some folks, for sure. All right, Ricardo says, I believe, whoops, there we go. I believe the crypto was supposed to be the answer to currency problems, but one big thing the government powers to be did that cage crypto was to give designation of financial instrument instead of currency. Yeah, it's but you have to look at it this way too. Crypto is still really new. It takes time. There's going to be a lot of growing pains before they sort of figure out what exactly it is or how exactly it's going to be used. When I look at Bitcoin, I see in the future. I think it can definitely be a store of value. Right now, there's a huge use for it if you want to transfer money across borders. I think it's fantastic for that. You can use it, I guess, as a currency if you're using something like Stripe or something like that. But I still don't think that's kind of where it's going to be in the long term. All right, so we do have a show on Friday, as the Banana Bread Company has come in with a super chat for $2. So thank you very much, and you are the goat. I know I wanted to have that goat done for this stream. I don't have it yet, but I'm trying to get a goat that I'm trying to get a goat that'll work the way I want it to. So far, I haven't gotten exactly what I'm looking for, but I guess I might be being too picky too. But I will get a goat in place here very, very soon. Oh boy! All right, let's jump back down here and take a gander again and see if Microsoft is still holding off the dogs. They are. They're still up there. 437. So that's fantastic. Meta. Well, this is interesting. Meta's recovered a little bit. Okay. I was not thinking that they were going to recover. That's very cool. Did I get any? Whoops. Come on, guys. For some reason, I'm getting this stupid thing popping out. Okay. No, I don't have anything new yet on them, but they're definitely pulling it up. They're definitely pulling up their socks a little bit. So let's hope that gets a little bit better. Maybe we can get on the other side. Maybe we can save the market. I don't know about coin. Coin's still down here at 201, and Robinhood is still I'm going to pull these a little closer here. All right, there we go. Robinhood's down here at 25.72. So we're watching way too many stocks, but that's fine. Hey, let's go to Google. Google's, yeah, they're not doing anything in the post. And they really shouldn't be. They've had their movement today. So, I mean, look at this. This here, you guys can see this big gap here. That's all of the aftermarket stuff right there. So, you know, they closed yesterday at 171. You know, and then they pretty much opened around 179 or so. And they made it all the way up to 183. But now they're sitting at about 176. That usually does happen. You usually do get a little bit of a retracement after you have one of these all-time highs. Or not all-time highs, but after one of these earning pumps, as we'll call them. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. All right. All right, Chad is in with a question here. All right, so in a TFSA account, you can't sell and then buy back within 31 days, but what happens if you receive a dividend and you have the account set up to automatically drip? Does this go? All right, so yeah, in this case here, so let's say you sold something and then you receive a dividend that drips back in. You're fine. You're fine on that. It's sort of a different type of process, you know, because yeah, technically you are buying within that 30 days, but you're not. It's not any kind of a manipulation. It's not like you're selling something and rebuying it back cheaper. This is just part of the normal process. So drips are fine. They're not going to get you into any trouble. All right, against the CRAs, yeah, and keep in mind too. And I always say this: the CRA is pretty much, if you go to the website, if you go to Canada.ca, go to the CRA section. They're as vague as they can possibly be. Like most of the rules that, you know, that people have sort of figured out, it's, you know, it's basically almost like hunting for a puzzle just to figure out what they are. And they've never, like, there's no place. Like, you go to the CR, you go and look, you're not going to find, like, the 31 day rule. You won't find it there. You're not going to find it. But enough people who have run into problems with the CRA and people who have dealt and people in that tax professional area, that's the number that has been boiled down from that. But the CRA is very, very vague. And sometimes I think it's because, you know, if for whatever reason they're auditing you, it gives them a little bit more of a leeway, you know, in case they really want to make your life a little bit miserable. So yeah, you definitely don't want to get audited, that's for sure. And Chad was saying, okay, thank you. Was thinking about that last night with BNS when I got my dividend. Yeah, absolutely, fair enough. No, you don't have to worry about that. If you got a drip or you got dividends coming in, you're fine. However, all right, let's just let's sort of look at one other little thing. If you have dividends coming in that are not in a drip, and then you go and buy back, like in this case, Scotiabank, that could cause them to look. Drips won't, but if you're doing it manually, I would in that case probably not buy them back within that 31 days. But if you have a drip set up, it's part of, you know, it is a different process altogether. I think you're perfectly fine with that. But I'd be a little more weary if you're doing it manually. And even if you were doing it manually, honestly, here's the thing. If the CRA looked at you because of a manual, because you were basically rebuying something with some dividends, you know, they would look at you. They would probably be, oh yeah, that's what it is. That's fine. But you don't want them looking at you, you know, because a lot of times if they look at you, maybe what you did is okay. But then they're looking around and they're like, oh, you know, this person does trade a lot. Let's audit them. Let's just audit them. That would be fun. Well, it would be fun for them, not really fun for you. So you kind of want to avoid stuff like that. All right. Let's head down here. See if Meta has gotten oh, they're still close. They're still close. 584. So come on, Meta. And do we have any I'm going to pull this over a little bit here. There we go. I don't like to have buttons on top of buttons here. We still don't have any data. Oh, we do have data. All right, we've got the metadata. So Meta on their earnings, they were expected to come in at 5.22. They came in at 6.03. They knocked that out of the park. 15.43% better than anticipated. Revenue, they were expected to come in at 40.21 billion. They came in at 40.59 billion. So they exceeded, once again, this not as big. This went up 0.93% better. But yeah, they did fine. So this here, if you guys saw how far they were following, once this got released, that's probably why we're back up really, really close to the to where they're at. There's hope for them to actually get above this. These are not bad. These are definitely not bad. Can pull things up here just to take a look and see. Yeah, everything here. I mean, this is all fine and dandy, but no, that's all old data. It's not new data. But yeah, 581. Let's see if they can get that $10 back. All right, now if we have their data, could we have Microsoft's? Could we have Microsoft's? Let's take a gander. We do. So Microsoft also exceeded expectations. They were estimated to come in at 3.10. They came in at 3.3, so they beat that by 6.42%. Revenue-wise, they were anticipated to come in at 64.57. They came in at 65.58. So that's not too shabby. They beat that by 1.57%. So we got expectations beat on both sides. That's fantastic. At least on the Microsoft side, people are holding on. People are holding on. They're like, okay, yeah, we're getting a little bit of respect for that. Meta, not so much. We're still a little bit down, but this is actually really good. The fact that they both exceeded expectation, and even if Facebook ends up, Meta ends up finishing a little low, there's hope in the market tomorrow. We may not get a bloodbath. So that would be good. That would be good if we don't get that bloodbath. MicroStrategy, they're not that bad now. They're hanging in there. So we are getting some movement there. Coinbase, once again, not that bad anymore. They're a lot closer. Do we have earnings for Coinbase? No, we don't. I don't actually know what time. And Robinhood was the other one that we were looking at. I see a red earnings here. Robinhood did have an issue. So Robinhood missed their earnings. They were supposed to come in at 18 cents on their earnings per share. They came in at 17. Well, actually 18.4. So they missed by 7.76 on revenue. They were expected to come in at 660 million, well, 660.53. They came in at 637. So they missed that by 356. So we did get a miss on the Robinhood. And Coinbase, once again, we got nothing there. And the fact that it's purple means that there's nothing there. I don't know why I'm clicking on it, to be honest. Because as you'll see, once we do have earnings, like in Meta, we got the green. Microsoft, we got the green. So let's hope people get... Now, keep in mind, too, these are just the after hours. There's also going to be the pre-market. So the pre-market, we could see some movement as well. People getting up and saying, oh, okay, they did well. Maybe I want to get in, especially if it's down. You take Meta, there could be, if Meta finishes in the after hours down, there could be people in the pre-market that are like, let's get in because I have a feeling they might go up once the market opens. That's another possibility with them as well. All right. Let's see here. All right. Holy cow. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? All right. Okay. Chad said, sealed out Scotiabank for EQB. Already in the green. BNS sucks. There are, except their dividend. Okay. All right. There we go. Jersky says, how much savings do you get on a drip with BNS? That's a good question. I don't think you get any kind of a discount with Wealthsimple. as far as I know. Let's see, sealed equals swapped. Chad wants to know, what do you mean? All right. Ricardo says the thing you got to look that I peaked in the financial reports is that operating costs are up and net margins came in closer than expected and ad money was just in line. Yeah, and you keep in mind that when you start going in deeper, um, there can be more problems. Like what we get here in these are the superficial. Basically, these are superficial earning report, the type of things, the headlines that the news people will grab. But yeah, there can be definitely within the report, if you go through it, there can definitely be a bit more information that could certainly sway people one way or the other. Because you got to realize too that they'll have an earnings call with these as well, and they'll break down a whole bunch of other stuff. And sometimes there can be stuff in that earnings call that can also sway things. Chat says, let's see, I'm with Wealthsimple, so I don't think there is a savings, and it's zero commission fees. Exactly. Paul says, okay, done buying MicroStrategy. Increased shares by 28% at an average price of $227.77. Interesting. CG says, this week has been interesting. I have added more HYLD, CNR, and a small amount of BRP. Very nice. Very, very nice. CNR is actually one of my favorite stocks. Like, I look at CNR as one of those stocks that it's a buy and hold forever for me. Definitely fantastic. HYLD is also pretty good. Especially when we're in bull market. In a bull market, HYLD is absolutely crazy. Paul says there is talk OTC desks are selling Bitcoin for 2.5x the current price for lots over 100 Bitcoin. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, and we'll keep our eyes as well as we go along here on Bitcoin. So let's just pull Bitcoin up for the moment. Look, we're pushing up. We're pushing up. Could this be our breakout? This would be fantastic if it broke out right now. That would be absolutely craziness as we're on the stream. But yeah, look, they've moved up a little bit. All right, we'll leave Bitcoin on the side here as we quickly take a look at our final look here at the charts for the day. The TSX finished in the red, down 0.22%. S&P 500 0.33 down. NASDAQ 0.79 and the Dow Jones 0.22. So a red day right across the board. Gold up 0.47, silver down almost 2%. WTI looking good, up 2.28%. Bitcoin down 0.46, 0.45. Now, if this keeps moving up, that number is going to get smaller. Ethereum 0.98. All right, we'll come back and we'll see if this actually does it. If it does it, come on, Bitcoin, break out. All right. Over here on our final heat map, let's just look at the winners. I like to look at the winners when we take our last look. All right, so here is a lot of our winners. Capital Power, look at that, up 7.72%. I mentioned before, Tourmaline doing good. Metro up 2.17, not too shabby. So yeah, definitely. Oh, there's Go Easy. Go Easy's doing. Whoops, I didn't mean to actually zoom in, but 3.10%. One of the problems with the Mac Magic Mouse is it's super sensitive. So that's why that happens. Heading to the U.S., we got Google up 2.82. AbbVie, as I mentioned before. Visa also looking good. Let's actually get rid of a few more of these. Let's pull things in and see if we got anything else interesting in here. Oracle's up a little bit on the tech side. And who is this here? Oh, Illinois Tool Workers. They're up 3.24%. So, yeah, not too shabby. Coke is back up in the positive, up 0.55%. Dell, look at that. Dell's up 6.39%. All right, and of course, crypto. Ethereum's still up. Bitcoin's still down a tiny bit. But if we get this explosion in Bitcoin, this could be absolutely green tomorrow. So, because when Bitcoin rises, everybody else in the harbor tends to go up with them. All right, let's get back here and see. Oh, we're still moving. We're still moving up. Look at that. I'm just going to move this over a tiny bit here just so you can sort of see Bitcoin a bit better. But let's see if that can hold. That would be kind of fun. I always like it when we get some kind of significant movement on the actual stream because to me that's absolutely awesome. All right. Let's see here. Chad says always buys CNR and CP on the dips. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and I can understand too. I mean, I can see Chad loving the railroads because when you look at the prairies, if you've ever traveled across the prairies, um, there's you can see the presence of the railroads big time. You'll see all of the grain stations, and usually there's railroad tracks going right through them so that they can load stuff up. It's huge. It's definitely huge. It's huge for our prairies. It's huge for our north. Um, I just can never overestimate how crucial our rail system is, both CNR and CP. And CP is the only one that does both Canada, both, all three, Canada, the United States, and Mexico. So that's definitely not too shabby. All right. Mary says TOI earnings are out tomorrow as well. What do you think? Could be interesting. Could be interesting. So TOI, guys, that there is, I believe that's Topicus, if I remember correctly. All right, so let's go here. TOI. So they have spun out from Constellation Software, and we're just gonna go. Let's just go to the 1 year, and this is, yeah, they have a few retracements, but overall, this is a company that has been moving in the right direction. Now, keep in mind when you're looking at Q3. It basically ends at the end of September, so right about here. So a lot of that part doesn't even count in those earnings. So you only really have a small little correction in those earnings, but the rest of it's mostly been up. So I have a feeling Topicus should do pretty good. I would assume, unless people had unreal expectations for them, but I don't think that's the case. So yeah, they should definitely do good. All right. Whoops. I have to click on that once, not twice. Paul says MicroStrategy announces third quarter 2024 financial results. Holds 252,220 Bitcoin with a Bitcoin yield of 17.8%. Year to date announces 42 billion capital plan. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I have a feeling. I would love to see them go up with their earnings call. And maybe they will. Maybe they will. Let's actually take a look and see where everybody is right now. Look at Bitcoin. We've got a bit more movement, so it looks like it's breaking. It looks like it's breaking out. That's what we've been looking for. That's what we've been talking about. All right, so let's keep going, Bitcoin. We'll come back to you in a bit here. But wow, look at that. That's so cool. All right, we'll go back. Microsoft, the one who was. Now, Microsoft's, look at that. They're not as far up as they were. But as long as they stay above this, I'm happy with them. I'm happy. But what about Meta? Has Meta? No, they're still really close. So they're kind of holding back a little bit. And what's happening over here? MicroStrategy, it's getting closer. It's getting closer. But as you said, Paul, I think you said they're going to announce the earnings at 5. So that's like 12 minutes from now. We should get some motion here on this one. Coinbase, actually not that bad now. They're down a little bit, but it isn't too shabby. And Robinhood, I don't think we're gonna get any. There's no redemption for Robinhood. We got bad earnings, so what are we gonna do? We still don't have the earnings yet for Coinbase, so that will be interesting. Oh, do we have our MicroStrategy earnings already? Oh, we do. Uh-oh. So they did have a bad earnings call. So let's see here. So their earnings per share They had an estimate of negative 12, and they came in at negative, well, sorry, negative 0.12. They came in at negative 1.72. That, so they missed their earnings by 1,298.37%. That's a lot. Now, revenue-wise, they were estimated to come in at 121.45 million. They came in at 116.07 million. So once again, they did miss on the revenue as well, 4.43%. Now, you're looking at something like that and you're thinking, why the banana bread aren't they, aren't they way down? Well, MicroStrategy, they kind of, it's almost like they don't have a product anymore. I mean, they still do stuff, but they're all about that Bitcoin. That's pretty much all MicroStrategy does, is they just buy Bitcoin. They take on more debt to buy Bitcoin. So yeah. Now, amazingly enough, MicroStrategy, they actually, rate cuts will be good for them because they do have a sizable amount of debt. Now, let's actually take a look. I have never actually looked to see exactly how much debt they have right now. MSTR. All right, this is going to be fun. This will be fun. It's actually not that bad. Their debt is 138%. I thought, when I say not that bad, yeah, that's a lot of debt. I thought it was higher. I thought it was going to be higher. But yeah, they are unprofitable. But their game is not about, like, as a software company, who cares? They don't care about that. Their goal, their main thing is Bitcoin, and they're holding an insane amount. So when Bitcoin explodes, they're going to do well. They're going to do well. There's no way around it. All right. Now, speaking of Bitcoin, let's take a peek in on that breakout and see how we're doing. Oh, look at that. We're still climbing. We're still climbing. So not too shabby. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're not going to have one green candle that goes this entire length. That's not how it works. We'll get maybe we'll get a bit higher here. Not that much higher. I mean, we've only got 8 minutes left before the next candle starts. So we might get up to here, and then, maybe we'll even get a little red candle, then a green, then maybe a red, then a green. I mean, it'll work jaggedly, but to get up to the target. So it won't go straight there. Now, there are situations where, sometimes it does go straight there, but most times it doesn't. So we're just going to keep that as expected. All right. So what a day. What a day. All right. Paul says Bitcoin is my favorite. Yeah. I love. I can't believe I actually said Bitcoin that time, and it's stuck. It's one of these things that, I'll still be here probably doing YouTube when I'm like 80 years old, and somebody will bring up Bitcoin. I'm convinced of it. So I think it's here forever. I think it's here forever. And maybe one of you guys will actually make a Bitcoin coin. That would be cool. I will buy one. I will buy one of those coins just to hold it. Just to hold it, because it would have sentimental value. Jersky Scenes, I mean, do you get a discount on a drip? That depends on your it depends on your broker. So Wealthsimple does not provide any discounts. But there are brokers that do provide discounts where if you do a drip, you get a little bit more, so you get a little bit of a deal. But we don't get that with Wealthsimple. Now, Wealthsimple does let you, and this is the beautiful thing, it does let you drip fractionally. So that's kind of cool at the same time. But there are some assets. There are some assets that you can't drip at all. So sometimes newer stocks, I think, I could be wrong on this, but I think RMAX is not yet drippable in Wealthsimple because it's still fairly new. So just something to keep in mind. All right. Paul says a MicroStrategy. You almost cannot use its earning. Yeah, you really can't. You really can't. Um, Quite literally, if I ever have to do a deep dive on MicroStrategy, it's probably going to be the most unusual deep dive I ever do, because all of that normal data is it's just not, it's not as useful. You have to kind of look at their balance sheet. You have to look at the Bitcoin. You have to sort of look at um, how they operate, because they're kind of a different beast. They're like a basically, how sometimes you get a list of something and a few items have an asterisk because there's notes about it down below. There's probably about 3 or 4 asterisks next to MicroStrategy that you have to read stuff down below. So yeah, I just got to keep that in mind. All right, do we have yet? We're still waiting. I think we're still waiting on coin, right? Let's go down here to coin. Oh no, we have Coinbase. We have Robinhood. All right, yeah, we got coin in now. So coin missed their earnings as well. So Coinbase, they were expected to come in at 44.7 cents. They came in at 28 cents. So that's a 37.40% miss. Oh boy. Revenue wise, they were supposed to come in at 1.261 billion. They came in at 1.205. So they missed that by 4.44%. I'm actually kind of surprised with Coinbase right now that this is not a little bit lower, because that wasn't, it's not great earnings, not great earnings. All right, getting back here to Meta. Yeah, Meta's still down 578. Microsoft is still holding above. I think we kind of know where Microsoft and Meta are going to end. I think that's pretty much a safe bet. A safe bet at this point. So, what can I say? Let's see. Whoops. Burger says, anybody gambling on Harris or Trump winning on Robinhood? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Now, after the after that big thing at Madison Square Gardens, it sounds to me like Trump may have lost Pennsylvania with that, because of some of the things that were said in that. So that might be one swing state out of his way. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, I know there's a lot of people that are gambling on Trump winning. I would not gamble it personally, but good luck to those who are, for sure. Michael wants to know, how does HLF earnings, are they having, I don't know who HLF is, but just give me a second here. Let's see if I can find them, because we can pull them up if they are here. HLF. Oh, Herbalife. Okay. All right, let's take a look for you. Here we go. Herbalife. All right. They had their earnings are in the green, so that's good. And before we even look, let's see where they are. Oh, look at this. So Herbalife, Michael, was they're up here at 718 in after hours. So these have to look pretty good. Let's take a look. Oh, interesting. So their earnings, they absolutely crushed their earnings. So they were expected to come in at 31.1 cents. They came in at 57. So that's 83.47% crush. Big crush. Now, they missed revenue, but not by much. Basically, they were supposed to come in at 1.241. They came in at 1.240. So that's like a 0.08% miss. So that's not bad. And that's why you can see they're doing really well in the aftermarkets. So yeah, Herbalife had a pretty good earnings. Not too shabby. Let's see. Oh, Wealthsimple had a new USD Canadian rates for over $1. I saw something earlier about that. Something about a tiered system over on Wealthsimple. I haven't had a chance to actually look at it though. But that's interesting. That is very, very, very interesting. So definitely something to keep in mind. All right. we're already at 5 o'clock. All right, guys, if you got your last minute questions, now's the time. Now's the time. Doesn't mean that we're leaving right away. It depends on what kind of questions you guys have. But I do want to point out we have a Friday stream. So that's kind of cool. We didn't actually get to see what happens when we hit 5 super chats, unfortunately, with this thing. I don't know if it just says congratulations or something. Well, we'll hit it one of these days. Yeah, absolutely pretty darn cool. Oh, I just realized something. I pulled up the my main window to see, and so I read the last comment here from Paul, and I noticed that it says message retracted. So for some reason, if you retract a message, I don't see it in my main thing. It actually pulls it up for me anyway. No, that's a problem. Anyway, yeah, that's fun. Michael says, how does AFL look? AFL. All right, give me a second. Let me get back in here. I'll pull it up for you. Why not? AFL. So Aflac. All I ever hear is that duck. All I ever hear, whenever I hear Aflac, I hear the duck. All right, let's go in here. AFL. All right, we have green, so it looks like their earnings were successful. However, their price is a little bit low. They have fallen from 110 to 109. Let's see. Okay, well, they did beat on their earnings per se. They had an estimate of 1.69. They came in at 2.16, but they lost out on the revenue. So they lost. So they were supposed to come in at 2.95. They came in at they're supposed to come in at 4.3. They came in at 2.95. So they did miss pretty big on that one, 31.41%. They did beat by 27% up here in the earnings, but I think it's enough. Like, they're not down a lot, and that's probably why when you're looking at the difference between these. So they did miss on, at least on the revenue, and I think that has pulled them down a little bit. So, but, I don't think it's that, well, 27% is a lot, but I'd want to see why they missed. That's that whole thing. So something like these numbers, when you look at them, they tell a story, but they don't tell the whole story. So a lot of times you're going to want to go into the background and find out, okay, well, why did they miss? What went on with their revenue that caused this? So that's always sometimes a question that you want to pose when you're looking at a company, for sure. All right. Oh, let's get back to Bitcoin. I almost forgot about Bitcoin. Let's not forget about Bitcoin here. All right. And you see, here's what I was saying. We now got that little bit of a red candle here, and that can easily turn around, but we'll have to watch this through the night. So by tomorrow, hopefully we do get above this line, because that would be fantastic. I'm definitely pretty darn bullish over here for Bitcoin. There we go. Just turn this down a little bit. So yeah, everything is absolutely happening, which is great. Sorry, formatting. No worries. No worries. You don't get marked on your spelling or your grammar or anything here. We just, hey, we just go with the flow. All of that fun stuff. All right, everybody. Well, since you guys don't have too many more questions, let me actually pull this up here to a full screen. We've been kind of living here in the charts thus far. All right. Give me a second here. All right. There we go. Woohoo! Back to the full thing. See the Discord for a screenshot. You have to be invited. Okay. Ooh. Paul, you got some exclusivity there. Exclusivity. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys. This has been another fantastic stream. We are going to be back. We are going to be back into... Oh, hold on. Hold on. This is a great question. Are you going to hold Air Canada into earnings? Let me take a gander. All right. Guys, we have to come back. We have to go back. All right. Here we go. Let's go back. We're going back to Air Canada. Whoops. All right, here we go. I have not watched Air Canada today. I've been today actually. I was editing. I filmed and edited a video most of the day. So, 1918. Okay, 1918. Well, here's the thing. Going into earnings, I'm not going to sell before then. Because I will not sell before we get to that. I can't see it. It's up there, but until we get to $20, I'm gonna hold tight. So yeah, I will be holding Air Canada as we go into earnings. So, yeah. What day? Give me a second here. Let's find out. I'm kind of curious now. Let's put in Air Canada. I don't know which day this week their earnings are on, but let's pull it up and see. All right, here we go. All right, here is Air Canada. So their earnings Friday. So Friday, November 1st, we'll find out what's going on with Air Canada. Oops, you guys can see here's one of my old lines. I'm going to get rid of that line. I'm not using that line anymore. There we go. But yeah, I'm going to hold on. We'll have earnings reports on Friday for them. We should have the earnings. Quite literally, we got a market close on Friday. So we will know Air Canada's fate on Friday. So yeah, no selling, no selling. Let's see. Do you know anything about BHC, which reports? I can take a look. I'll take a look for you. BHC. So Bosch Health Companies. All right, let's take a gander here. We got nothing yet on them. We got nothing. The earnings have not yet made it to us. Now, they are though. And this is always positive, they are trading above their close. So, but nothing yet, Michael, on BHC, on Bosch. Okay. How is Huts looking from harvest? Good question. Actually, we'll go here for that one. HUTS. So here we go. So this here is the Hamilton Enhanced Utilities. Now, I am bullish on utilities. Utilities do tend to do well when the rates are coming down because they carry a lot of debt. All right, let's take a gander here. So as you can see, very much the same idea. So this is June back here. Whoops, let's go in here. Actually, this is even before June. So June is about here. But they have had a nice movement to the upside. A little bit of a correction, but that's what is happening to everybody. And you'll see with this one here, this one does have a half-decent dividend here, so 6.983%. But yeah, Huts is looking pretty good. Add that dividend to this, and you've got yourself a pretty nice total return. So that's not too shabby. All right. JJMA says, I think there was some Chapter 11 news, but likely stockholders won't get anything. Just want to get rid of it from my portfolio. Which company is that, JJMA? I'm not sure who you're referencing. Let's see. I don't think it's Huts. I don't know. I have no clue. Paul says, I didn't get invited to cheaper FX yet. Someone on Blossom posted. Okay. So you did not yet get there. I'm wondering if they have like limits, right? A lot of times they have like you have to have a certain balance to get some of these deals. I'm wondering if that's their situation with this. And I have no clue what your balance is, but I'm just wondering if that ties into it as well. So that's just something I know. Like I know, for example, like if you want the US account and you don't want to pay for it, you need like $100,000 balance. So I'm wondering if it's a kind of a similar thing with these. Could be interesting for sure. All right. Just waiting on you, JJMA, so you can tell me who it is you're talking about. Because there's no Chapter 11 news that's popping up in my head right away. Well, other than, I think there wasn't there Chapter 11 with Red Lobster. That's the last one I've heard of recently. So what can I say? Do I know why Palantir is down so much in the after hours? Didn't they ever? I thought they might have had earnings this week. Maybe. I'm not sure, but let's see. PL. Whoops. Let's just take a look here. PL. TR. There we go. Palantir. Let's put them on here. Let's go take a look. Oh, no, they haven't had earnings yet. Their earnings are on Tuesday, so next week. Or not next week, later in the week. November 20, or sorry, Tuesday the 5th of November. Yeah, so this Tuesday. Yeah, look at that. They are down a little bit, and they're also down in their earnings. I don't know if there's anything that popped up on them. Let's go to the more news. And then I think this is what's happening. Look at this here. Analysts are predicting a steep drop for Palantir stock as Q3 earnings approach. So it may be tied into that. It may be just a news story like this will tend to sometimes, all in itself, help push things down. So let's see. Before its latest quarterly report, they have high expectations, and the analysts are very skeptical. That can tank you right there. But yeah, analysts are just saying, they're gonna tank badly, and investors are listening and saying, okay, well maybe it's time to get out. So that's basically what's happening there. All right. Let's see. Is TradingView free to use, or it's a paid version? Both. So TradingView, it is free. You can go into it. You can do a lot on the free version. The only thing is a free version, you're not going to get up to date. So you'll get like a 15-minute delay on your prices. But to use it, for example, like if you want to go into like the heat maps and that, these are all perfectly free. Their heat maps are free. Also, well, here, let me show you something here. I'll duplicate that tab so I don't wreck it. But they have a lot of other tools in here as well that are free. So let's give me a second here. Products. So you've got screeners. So if you want to do screening, you can screen for ETFs, bonds, Forex, crypto, stocks, and they have a lot of different things. So for example, if we go into the stocks, these are all things that you can put in to help you. Now this is looking at the U.S. market. If you're interested in India, Germany, Japan, Canada, it's all in there. You know, I mean, I'm a Canadian channel, so we'll go to Canada. But you can basically look for whatever you're looking for. For example, I love ROE. So let's say I was like, I want 15% or above. Now all of these have at least 15% return on equity. I can add a whole bunch of other stuff too. And, you know, you can go in and play with it. This is absolutely free. Most of the stuff you can do here is free. It's just that you get limited. So when we come back here, and let's go to Bitcoin for a second. BTC, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's come down a little bit there, hasn't it? All right, let's pull this back. So when you're drawing stuff, you can do quite a bit on the free version, but you do run into some limits. So there are a few limits that you will run into, but it is fantastic to use. I think the free version has a lot that is totally worthwhile. Mario says, can you look up Huddle? HUTL. Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that with, we'll do that over here. HUTL. So there's our harvest equal weight. And you know this is going to be good too. We know this is going to be good. Let's go to that. We'll go to the 6 month. So here we are. And look, once again, nice movement to the upside. Utilities, they absolutely thrive in market cuts, rate cuts. So same idea as REITs. So that's why, like I always say, and this one has a slightly higher dividend too, 7.96%. So this is a fantastic ETF. Keep in mind, though, I do believe they use covered calls in here as well. But I believe, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they do. It's not listed in here. I'd have to go to their webpage to find out, but I think they do. Yeah, it's another fantastic company for sure. And as we're in this rate cut environment, there's a lot of opportunity there. For me, I'm utilities and of course REITs. Those are my big plays. I do think though we're going to start to see some movement to the upside as well for communications, because I think we've gotten deep enough into the rate cuts that it's going to start to really start helping them out. So Rogers, Bell, TELUS, maybe even Quebecor as well. So although I'm kind of curious, I have not looked at Quebecor in a while. Come on, Quebecor. There we go. All right, let's go to the last 6 months on Quebecor. Quebecor's already doing good. Look at this. So 6 months ago, they were sitting at about $28.49. They're up to $35. So Quebecor is already... Now, Quebecor probably doesn't have the huge debt burden. Well, you never know. They did, they did buy Freedom Mobile from Rogers. So let's take a gander. I'm curious to see what their debt is looking at. Oh no, they've got a lot of debt. Look at this. 383%. So yeah, those rate cuts are doing them a favor for sure. So that's his. But also look at their return. Look at their return on equity, 40.39%. So that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So good old Quebecor. All right. And let's see here. Manto says, thanks. You are awesome. Because of you, I made $3K so far on Air Canada. I sold 60% just to take some off the table, so thank you. Yeah, and it never hurts to take money off the table. So that's kind of, I will always say that. And you know what? And even if, let's say after their earnings, Air Canada explodes up to, let's say they explode to $22. Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's awesome. But, yeah, you would have lost a little bit of profit. But who cares? You've taken profit. I always say it never hurts. Maybe you didn't get all the profit, but there's no need to be greedy. Take some profit, and you're always better off. You're always better off in the end. Vineet comes in right at the very end with a hi all. Hey there, Vineet. Good timing as we're wrapping things up. All right, let's go back to big screen. Actually, before we go to big screen, we'll take one last look at the after hours. Oh, I'm not liking this. Look at this. Bitcoin's almost made it back into our thing. Maybe we're not going to get our breakout, but I'm going to hope. I'm still going to hope. I really wanted to see that do a little bit better, but let's zip on down. We'll take our last looks here at the 2 stars of the show. Microsoft still hanging out a little bit above in the post, and Meta still hanging a little bit low. They actually fell a little bit more. Well, also MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy just hanging in there. That's fine. All right. Michael. All right. Just because it's you, Michael, I will do one last one for you. HVT. All right. HVT. All right. So that is your Harvey Brewery Companies. All right. Let's take a gander and see. All right. No earnings yet on them. But in the post, they are down. They're down a little bit, 22.75. I don't even have any news on them at all. Normally, I'll get a little news button if I get some news, but I got nothing on them other than we're still waiting on the earnings. Right now, investors are, a lot of times if investors are down here, they're probably not feeling super, what's the best word for it? Confident. Very confident at all. But, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Vineet says, I'll try to watch the replay. Manto says, I have been buying ENCC and ENVL. Yeah, well, ENCC is fantastic. It's a very good covered call energy stock. ENVL, let's take a look at ENVL. All right. I haven't looked at them in a while. So this here is Investment Inc. All right. Alrighty, let's take a gander, see how they've been doing. And yeah, that's actually not bad. They've had a pretty good, in the last year, they've had a good rise, but they have been very flat lately. So what's going on with that? I don't know, but that's fine. I'm just going to pull up the key data here. Oh boy. So they definitely have some issues happening here, Manto. So be a little careful. Their return on equity coming in at negative 40.81%. So they're currently not profitable. So I don't know what that means with them because, wow, they had a nice rise, but right now they're having a bit of issues. So be a little careful on this one. If you're in the green, there may be something you might want to do. But of course, you need to do your own due diligence to decide if that's the case. But I would just be careful. And I'm kind of curious here. Oh, wait a minute. This is ENV. You were looking at ENVL. Never mind. Forget everything I just said. No, that's because I'm not pulling up any ENVL. All right. Oh, that's because it's an ENCL. Never mind. yeah, there we go. Yeah, ENCL, the leveraged version of ENCC. All right, I should have figured that out. On my own. I didn't, but oh well. Oh dear. Yeah, once again, those will both do well once energy comes up. But now, if you're in a situation where energy is, doesn't look like it's going to do good for a while, you probably want to shift more out of the ENCL, more towards the ENCC, just because as energy is falling, because of that leverage on the ENCL, you will fall faster. So always keep that in mind. All right. Oops. IMAX reports earnings which at most to all of the movies. Ah, yes. I haven't looked at that yet. I haven't looked. All right. Mary says thank you. Michael says, have you seen NMAT, which report earnings already? I haven't. But you'll have to ask me next time. We are at the end, guys. This has been another fantastic show. You guys all rock. We will be back here on Friday. We'll do this all over again as normal. Until then, everybody, I will bid you a fond farewell and have a happy Halloween tomorrow. If there's any stories that pop up tomorrow, be sure to bring them to the stream on Friday. I can't wait to hear. Until then, everyone, take care. Have a fantastic Halloween. See you in November.